So today I want to show you my PM5190 signal generator by Philips in a kind of an ASMR relaxed style. It is as Philips calls it, an LF synthesizer, low frequency synthesizer. It goes from 1 millihertz to 2 megahertz, but I will only be using it for the audio frequency, so from 0 to or 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. On the left you can see select buttons for 3 waveforms: sine, pulse and sawtooth. You can select that and you can enter the frequency, and you can enter the amplitude, and the third option is you can also enter a DC offset. So you can have, for instance, a 1 volt DC offset. I'll start the video now. This is my setup. Let me hold it. I have a setup. I have a voltmeter on top of the device. I have another voltmeter to the left of the device. You haven't seen that yet, but it is there. I have an oscilloscope attached so we can see the waveform. And there's also a website where I calculate the levels that I need to enter, because mainly I use voltage RMS, but the device needs a voltage peak to peak. So I have set up my website. I have a handy page on my website where I can calculate these values, but I will demonstrate it for you. So what am I going to do now? The frequency I entered was 500 and with an amplitude of 1 volt peak, and you can see that on the scope. You can see also on the scope that it's 1 volt peak, but the scope measures 376 millivolts. That is of course the RMS value. I can enter another frequency, 1000 hertz, and you can see that on the scope. As you can see, as you enter more digits, the frequency is displayed. It's a nice interactive way. This is a 0.0 amplitude. I'm messing around with the digits. Just to show you how it works. Now I'm trying an offset of 1.1 volts. And you could briefly see, let me go back, you could briefly see that the sine skipped there. I don't know why it's so short, but well, you can see it here. Here is my setup. Maybe I should have started with this part. I have a 1000 hertz sine wave selected. You can enter it in hertz and kilohertz. It's a 2.0 volts peak, and no DC offset. And that measures 0.7079 volt RMS, 0.7083 RMS. They are almost identical. The scope measures it differently, so don't mind the scope. Now I have a 0.9 volt peak, and that measures exactly the same on both voltmeters. So I think it's pretty accurate. Now I will show you how I calculate these voltage peak to RMS. For instance, I need an RMS volume voltage, and it goes very fast, but I entered 0.78 volt RMS. For instance, your service manual requires that you enter 0.78 volt RMS, and then my website says that equals 2.206 volts peak. So that's what I enter. In the device. So let's do that. No, not on the DC offset. So yeah, adjust that, and what do you know, 0.78. So that was all the footage I had. It's not a lot, but makes for a good quick video. Yeah, there are some more things to say about the device, but it's not that interesting. This is what I use it for mainly. I want to mention my website. I will put it in the description, where you can find these handy calculators to convert from volt peak to volt RMS, and the other way around. And there are also other things to find on my website, so check it out. Thanks for watching.